Video journal entry 31 August 3rd, 2025. And the week pushes ahead. I've been pushing forward with my plight to earn income outside of 9 to 5. So I think I talked about a little bit about the things I wanted to do. And this week I sent out my first pitch to a brand. Even though my following was really small, I was like, well, may as well give it a try. But essentially, I just kind of like pitched an idea, collaborative idea that I have with a brand. And I didn't hear anything back. So I'm guessing I'm ghosted, but I'm still happy that I sent it through. Regardless, I'm still happy that I sent it through. Even if nobody replies, I'm happy that I made that step, an initiative to like put action forward and do that outreach. And I'm gonna be doing it more often, and I'll get probably many no's, but then I'll get some yeses. So let's see. I feel like I've been working on like some projects too. So like today I worked on some ceramic things that I've been wanting to work on, which I'm really happy about. I like prototyped some things that I wanted to make and like products that I know that I've been wanting to release and try out. So I see how that goes. I have a piece that I've been really wanting to work on. It's like a more so art piece versus product piece, but I have an art piece that I've been wanting to work on, and I'm finally working on it. It's back there, like the pieces are back there, and you like put everything together. So that's coming along, and I'm really happy about that because that's been something that's been on my mind. And essentially, just kind of like it talks about well, not talks about, but it's kind of like a representation of like the way I've been feeling for a long time. If you see I can watch back and see my stuff, but I see my like video journal entries previously, like earlier in the year. I was like in such a crisis because of what's happening in the world, what's happening in the country, and still having to navigate all that. Plus, so many just decisions that and like crossroads that I'm needing to decide upon, So that's what that piece is gonna be like representing, and it's been something that's been on my mind. And I sketched out the idea for the piece like some time ago, and I'm finally working on it. So I'm happy that I'm working on it. I'm happy that I've done this prototype of a product that I want to release as well. So I felt good about that. Let's see. Me and Genevieve have been kicking it. She's been here for a week, and she's getting along really well. She loves hanging out. She's just an odd little oddball. Like she likes to spend time to herself, but then like she'll come up to me sometimes. I'll go up to my dad for like rubs and pets, and like she's so funny. Like she's like slowly like getting acclimated to things. Like I'll have to like kind of push her to like come upstairs with me. Like at first she'll be resistant, then eventually she'll go upstairs. And then when she gets up there, she's chilled out, she's laid out. But like she doesn't want to initiate to go up there herself. But she's really cute. And oh man, I'm thinking about foster feeling. I'm thinking about it, man. I am. But I'm still having those same reservations as before, but I think less so. And I've really been thinking about like if I move forward, what are like my solutions to the things that I was like apprehensive about before, like having a dog and traveling, etc. So I've kind of like mapped out scenarios of what the situation look like. I've talked to my dad about things like, okay, if I'm going out of town, like what will this look like? To like make sure like her care and everything will be good. So I think I'm coming to like a more comfortable spot of being able to make the decision. I'm still nervous, and I still fear that like loss of independence, but for the most part, like, she's so sweet and she's so well behaved. She's so cute and she's just such a nice dog. So I'm really thinking about it, And of course, as you know, I wanted a Samoyed, so I'm thinking about it a lot. And I feel like the longer I have her, I'll probably be making that decision. I'm gonna see like what happens. Let's see where it goes with things. If it's meant to be, it'll be meant to be, But yeah. Let's see. What have I been thinking about this week? Alas, our political and economic climate remains unstable, and day by day it gets worse. Mind you, bro, it's not even been a full year. This is so alarming, and people still don't get it. And it's really crazy to me just how out in the open the people are about these things and don't even care. Like they're like owning up to it. We need to bring back shaming bigots, bro. we didn't shame these people enough. Obviously, we need to bring it back. And it's also alarming to me when I see it within young people. I was telling my brother this, he don't get it, but I was saying like we're in a dangerous spot because young people are becoming more and more on the conservative end. And that's alarming because when it was time to shake things, when it was time to raise our voices, if we look back in the past, we look back in history, it was the young people. What are the young people doing right now? Oh, it's a crazy times. And like a lot, whether people are like embracing bigotry and embracing this hateful rhetoric and embracing hateful regimes, or whether people just are not cognitive. Like I saw this TikTok of this girl. She was pretty much just, it wasn't even like an alarmist type of thing. She was just saying like obvious observation. Our economy we're heading towards dangerous territories, right? And she was just saying like be mindful of your spending, like try to hold back, if you will. Like you don't have to cut out completely, but try to hold back. Very logical things. And people in the comments are like, well, I'm not gonna let fear rule me and da 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 da. I'm like, fear? Being financially responsible is like what, like the noggins aren't working enough. Like, bro, something that's common sense as just like being mindful of your finances in an economic downturn is like, I don't want to live in fear. Like, you gotta live in fear, but you have to live in sense. You have to live in common sense. And it's just like, when I see stuff like that, I just get even more alarmed because it's like, what do we do? Even when our people are losing it, and us as a country, we're gonna become much more uneducated. We're already sus. People already have that. America already has that reputation, and it's gonna get even worse, even worse. Worse. But yeah, that's so alarming, especially with what happened with the statistician for, I guess like our job fairs and like our, what is it called? Like our data for like the job market. I think they go by quarter if I'm not mistaken, maybe biannually or something like that. But what just happened with that person? The numbers weren't good, so they fired them. And it's very, things like that happen often. Like I've run my previous job. I got to see like a lot of data and like work with data and things like that. And people often try to like not manipulate, but they try to like convey what they want out of the data. They'll try to like make workarounds to make data sound good, even when it's not. Like, let's say there's like data of like multiple like variables and factors, right? And they're not looking good. They'll try to find like little bitty things where they can highlight as looking good, so that they can kind of like mask the rest of the data. I feel like that's what a lot of people do. A lot of situations do. A lot of people do in companies, and now we're doing it in our government. And like people are mentioning, it's scary because people aren't gonna know how to act accordingly. But I guess now everybody, it's open out in the air. They've been trying to undermine what's been going on with the economy and the job market. They've been trying to undermine that. I already think they were underreporting that. But now the numbers came out, and people are getting confirmation of what they have already known. But then again, it's gonna be scary when they start lying about this stuff. But I guess, hopefully people will still have that same knowledge that like it ain't right out here. But it's sad. It's scary times. Sad times. The people don't get it still. Oh, on the bright side though, my garden is starting to fruit. My kale. Did I mention that last week? I might have mentioned it last week. I'm not sure. My kale plant. I think something ate my kale. I don't know if it died or what. I looked out the window one day and saw stems, and there was no kale leaves on my kale. And I was just getting ready to pick it too, but even still, my other plants are starting to fruit. My tomatoes are fruiting. My peppers are fruiting. I saw one small, tiny little squash coming out, and I saw one blueberry come out my blueberry plant. So that's exciting. Gardening has been an exciting thing. I haven't been like cost efficient in my gardening. I spent way more on starting a garden than it would have cost me to buy those produce. But I really like I think I like the experience of it. I feel like I haven't been able to really locked down as much because I'm doing other things, but I still enjoy the experience of like planting something and seeing it grow. And it's also showing how time flies, because it feels like just yesterday I was planting seedlings and starting seedlings, and now my work is bearing fruit. And I think that's just such a great metaphor for life, how you plant your seeds and with time it'll grow. I think with life, it's harder to be on that end where time feels like it's flying, like with the garden. Like with the garden, literally, the few days out of the week, I go water it and just time passes. I feel like in life, when you really think of it, it's hard. It's hard for time to just pass. Like I feel like I'm in a weird spot with time. At the same time, I feel like time is going by fast. But at the same time, I feel like time is not moving at all. When it comes to how I want to progress in my life and things I want to do, it feels like I'm not progressing enough. So it feels like maybe time, I don't know if it feels like time's still slow. But at the same time, I feel like I'm feeling pressure. So I feel like time is moving fast. It's very odd. But with planting the garden, I don't know. It feels very time mutual. And the time is going to pass as it passes. And do what you can to plant your seeds so you can reap fruit when that time passes and as it grows, That's where I'm at right now. Financially, I want to pay off my mortgage and my student loans in 5 years. Ambitious goal. Yeah, it is. But still, I have that goal in my mind. Hopefully I can do it. What's the big deal? If I hope for it, if I try, reach for the moon, whatever, you might reach the stars, something like that. We can take it to the moon, take it to the stars. So many people good. Okay, I just got off on a tangent. But speaking of singing, since I was just singing a melody, I finished my siren covers, all 10 of them, complete. Ding. Oh man, that was an experience. I'm happy I saw it all the way through to the end. This last one, it was really testing me a little bit because it was in French again, another song in French. Even though I feel like it was easier to sing than singing Love Story in French. I feel like when I was singing the cover for Love Story by Indila, which is in French, I feel like the way she sings the song, like she sings it with her own embellishments of the word, and I think she sings it with like a native vernacular versus like with Habanera, the way they pronounce this song is as you read it, so you can read it and pronounce it. It's easier to understand it that way, But I'm happy I got it done. I'm happy. I really am, to be honest with you. I'm thinking about this, especially for the last two, the singing in French. That was like such a struggle for me, and that was like one of my biggest roadblocks, or like, my biggest barrier in this thing. And I did it. I was apprehensive and worried as those songs were approaching, but I finished them. So I'm happy I did that whole series. I'm hoping to make better work in the future, and as you know, I need to start, since I finished that, I'm thinking about this week of doing the production for my EP and things like that, and working on the production for the songs that I have. So that's where I'm at right now with it. Yeah. Creating, existing, trying. I'm just living. I'm trying to release myself and release pressures to myself and do as I can. But that's it for me this week. Mood-wise, above the middle ground, because I've been, doing the things I need to do, watching Little Genevieve. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Hoping for a better tomorrow. I really am. I try to, zone out and be happy-go-lucky. I can't. I'm always thinking, randomly I just start to think about what's going on in the world. I just get pissed. I'm just like, I just put my arm on my shoulder. I'm just like, on my hip. I'm just like, I just think, I'm like, oh man. We trying our best. Hope you try your best. That's it for me this week. See me next week. Oh, I started back to work. Forgot to mention that. I started back to work on Friday. I'm kind of nervous. I'm apprehensive about where things are going to go, because apparently somebody else is left too. So I'm like, is that going to be another person's workload on my plate? I'm not looking forward to that. Yeah. To be honest with you, I want to ask for a raise, but since it's not I still on contract and things, I don't know how that's going to work. How that works, But that's where I'm at with it right now. Hoping for the best. I hope I learn. I hope as I move forward, like I said, I'm just going to be gauging it out. I hope I'm doing interesting work. I hope I'm feeling fulfilled with the work that I'm doing. I hope I'm learning valuable skills, which I think I will be. I've learned valuable skills, and I've been practicing valuable skills within this role, so I hope that continues. But yeah, that's it for me this week. For real, for real. See me next week. Bye. Oh, before I leave though, I'm thinking about the type of content that I wanted to do and blending my creative areas. So last week I posted a ceramic video. Well, actually what I did was I like reworked the last siren cover because I did a ceramic video to the cover. So I reworked that into a short form and I posted it on my ceramic pages to see how that would perform, short form. And I think that could be like a little thing that I dive into. So like doing covers and then backing it with ceramic videos. I'm gonna see how that performs because I saw it perform relatively okay on my Instagram, which I was surprised. Instagram, the way like views work on Instagram versus TikTok is so different. Like 200 views on TikTok, you're like, dang it. 200 views on Instagram, you're like, oh my gosh. But I got like 1,000 views on that. So I was like, well, that might be something. So I might try to dig in on that a little bit more. And that's it for me for real this week. For real. See me next week. Bye.